The first element that I'd like to share with you is something that is absolutely vital if we're going to be successful in other initiatives that we have going on in our building this year, and that is that of student independence. John Hattie, educational researcher, says that students need to be taught how to practice deliberately and how to concentrate. Even though this seems like something that's just really simple, I think that oftentimes teachers, administrators, and the like take for granted um, what they should not. The assumption that students come in with these skills um, is not a good assumption. The need for improvement is very, very clear, and it's threefold. First of all, students at CMS do not possess the practice skills needed whenever they arrive to us. They frequently come with some practice skills, but mostly, above all, students have developed the skill of memorization. We know that this is not a skill that is valuable in education or in life in general. As we move forward, we would like for students to be able to exercise applicability, being able to apply certain skills to different scenarios in their life and not be so categorized. The second one is that students do not have the stamina that project-based learning and reading tasks require of them. In our building, we're moving toward curriculum that is heavily, heavily project-based. That's excellent. The only problem is that our students not having the stamina will not be able to stick around for the long run. Project-based learning requires students to be able to stay focused for a long time, and while the projects may be engaging, students may not be willing to engage in the productive struggle if they're not yet taught how to struggle effectively. Reading tasks pose the exact same argument. As the tasks get more difficult, students will experience more difficulty with them, and if not given strategies to tackle them, they may give up. Lastly, students are not prepared for what the high school expects of them. Year after year, we hear from high school teachers who tell us that their freshmen coming in are the most disorganized students they've ever met. It's our job to fix that so that the high school can move on and prepare them for college. My plan for improvement looks like this. First, we need to develop a focus team that agrees with the weaknesses discussed. I've already looked into this, and I know that our focus team at the school currently that deals with literacy would be a great fit for this. This could be sort of a branch off of it. We could use this team as a liaison between the middle and high school. We need more communication there. Additionally, we can work with the high school to develop a list of expectations for the incoming freshmen and start to communicate those to 8th graders as they move into high school. This focus team could also brainstorm ideas that could help change habits so that students can become more effective, become more skilled. So they could develop strategies and even signs for classrooms in regards to mnemonic devices or SQ3R. Here's an example of one of the posters that could be distributed to teachers so that students recognize that this method can be used in all subject areas. Get more out of what you read with SQ3R, and it describes what it means by survey, question, read, recite, review. Ultimately, we're working to end the frustration. I think that with the implementation of these strategies, students can get to where they need to be without all the added stress. The second element I'd like to discuss with you is what I'm calling collaboration that counts. John Hattie describes this as the teachers should talk with each other about the impact of their teaching based on evidence of student progress and how to maximize their impact with all students. Ultimately, we're talking about the time we spend in collaboration and making sure that we're making it the most fruitful time that it possibly can be. The need for improvement here is clear. There's not enough time for teachers to discuss specifics of student progress or teaching methods that work. Currently, we're on a one-day departmentalizing schedule. This department time of 40 minutes per se, if we get together 5 to 7 minutes late, is just not enough for us. Additionally, we get our early release day once or possibly twice a month. Usually at these times there's something handed down to us that occupies our time other than those conversations about getting kids to a higher level. Additionally, we have a problem with the lack of peer observations. While it is well understood that we should be going to other people's classrooms and watching things, it simply doesn't fit in if we're not mandated to do it. And lastly, there's no training on the instructional software. And so whenever we do choose to have these conversations, teachers spend more time grappling with the technology than truly being able to analyze the data that's there. We need additional training. There are some solutions. The plan for improvement would look something like this. First of all, we need to revise the teaming and planning schedule to make more time for departments to meet. Like I said earlier, we currently meet 4 times as a team and 1 time as a department. If we were to change that to where we could meet 2 times as a department and 3 times as a team, we begin to even the playing field and put instructional improvement higher on this totem pole, giving it 2 days a week. Teachers need that time together. If we were to do that, we could move on. Use a faculty meeting to set the day 2 standard. And that could be where day 2 of department meetings could be used for data analysis and instructional improvement. Moving on, we can require teachers to complete 3 to 4 observations of one another. So long as substitutes are provided, teachers could be encouraged to observe not only their own department, but also the department of others to grab, beg, borrow, and steal different instructional methods that work for them. Lastly, we can work with the PDC, the Professional Development Committee, to request training on instructional resources that are going to aid teachers in extrapolating the data and being able to understand and analyze effectively so that they can make changes within their department. All of these things are necessary, again, if we want to move toward that project-based learning. That is so foreign to our teachers, and we want desperately to move up on that rigor relevance framework. We have to do this in order to get that. Teachers need to be able to talk to each other and create new ways of producing, of sharing the material with their students, and without time together, we can't get there. The outcome is better informed teachers who are glad they're not in it alone. And this time, as we change to Common Core state standards and we're all trying to get comfortable with the novelty of the situation, it's important that teachers realize that they are not in it alone.